everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I am here to do a second video in my astrology tarot kind of series that I have going on. In my last video I talked about the first Aries Decan, and so today I want to go through Decan number 2. So if you're interested in the first Decan, go ahead and check out that other video. Otherwise, today I'll just move forward with going over these cards. So, Aries Decan 2 usually goes from about March 30th through around April 9th. So that's just kind of a date range reference there. I covered the Emperor card, which represents Aries, in my last video, and I also talked about the Tower card, which represents the planet Mars. Mars governs Aries, so that's why I'm keeping these two cards here. And Decan 2 is co-ruled by the Sun, so that's why I have the Sun here with us. I also included Leo because it's also kind of connected with this Decan. It is connected to the Sun, and so I thought we might want to just kind of touch on Leo, the Sun, and how it sheds light on the third Decan, which is the Three of Wands, the Sun in Aries. For this series, I am using the Zodiac Tarot deck here. I love this deck. I really enjoy using it. You can, check out this set for more information, I guess. I think it has, the creators maybe made a few creative decisions for some things. So anyway, we will just move forward. I just wanted to mention which deck I use for this. Okay, I won't necessarily go into that card, but I'll have it here on this side. Again, you can check out that first video for more information on these two. But yeah, so here we have the Sun card, which is the co-ruling planet that we have going on now for Decan 2. It is a beautiful card, and I'll try to have, I always try to have a little pointer because I think it makes it easier than seeing my, fingers there. But what I like to do is briefly mention, I guess, like things that I find interesting, elements that I find interesting on the card, and kind of use that as a jumping board for things we might want to think about during the season, during this Decan. So here, the Sun card, what I thought about was kind of revealing, putting things fully out there, I guess. We have the kid here at the bottom, the child, and it has a little sunflower there covering its, little private parts or whatever. And then we have the Sun here as well. This image reminds me a lot of some other cards in tarot that, let me see if I can grab them for kind of visual reference here. But, not to get like super graphic or whatever, but it does kind of make me think of like, kind of like our I don't know, like our private parts, I guess, or those things that are most private to us. Just like the kid is being covered by the flower there, I feel like the Sun is kind of resembling that image of, like a body, I guess, in a sense. An image that we see kind of reflected here as well with the Devil card. I think we also see that maybe in the Lovers card. I'm trying to find that. Give me one quick sec here to try and see if I can locate that in the traditional card deck. So here as well, that's just kind of, I'm sure I'm not alone in kind of noticing those kinds of things. But anyway, so that's what The Sun card made me think of in this case, it's laying things out there. It's kind of being naked to whatever comes next, right? Being open to whatever is coming next. We are at the start of spring, a season that is all about new beginnings, and kind of, I think, about being vulnerable with some vulnerability that comes with those initial stages of a project, initial stages of life. It kind of comes with innocence, I think, of not knowing what's coming next. So that kind of thing. We see the little rainbow here on the ground. That's, makes me think of like the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, right? Because the rainbow's like literally down on the ground. There's like gold everywhere here. We see the clouds in the background, which I love to see the clouds as well, or like this smokiness in the background, because like I mentioned in my previous video, I felt that that was, an interesting feature in the Tower card. So I like to, I don't know, kind of see image motifs running through different cards. So here, I don't know. I'm like, I like to imagine that it's some of the smoke still kind of coming through here, but the sun is shining forward. And so we have our true nature coming forward. It's shining bright. We are who we are. And I think that's something we can pull from the Sun card about, not being ashamed of who we are, of putting ourselves out there, and allowing that to fill us with energy to move forward with our goals and our heart's desires as we kind of progress here and during the season of Aries. Alongside with that card, with the Sun card, I'd like to bring up Leo as well, because the Sun is in charge of Leo, let's say. So I think they go hand in hand. And I think what we can learn from the Leo card is the strength that it takes, right, to shine, to put yourself out there, to kind of be vulnerable. So I kind of liked that message, pulling that message from the Leo card into this second Aries Decan. So again, leaning on our strengths, being strong in order to put ourselves out there, and go for the things that we want as we progress here to the second Decan in Aries. And next here we have the Three of Wands, which is the Decan card. Again, we have the sun in Aries here, the symbols. In the background, we see the sun. I like the facial expression that it has there. It looks a little like, you know. I don't know if it's necessarily an attitude, but maybe just like, I don't know what feeling that is. It's just, same with this. I mean, this one's not really like happy or sad. It's kind of neutral. This one looks like a little, a little bored. I don't know. And then we have our character here. Again, we have the little clouds in the background, which I like to notice. I see the three wands, and the one that the main character here is holding is one of the ones with, more leaves. So maybe the more promising of the wands. And it's about looking forward to what's coming ahead. Our goals, our heart's desires, where we want to be, just trying to, feel things out, get our bearings, I guess. I like that the cape is full of these little stars, which I like to imagine as our hopes and dreams. We're covered in our hopes and dreams. There's a wind blowing, right? Winds of change are coming through. He has little stars on his boots, which are cute, and his suit as well, So again, just clothed in your dreams, the the dreams are close to you, close to your heart, you know. And he's standing on this blue thing, which looks to me like water. So maybe, you know, makes me think of our emotions, you know, standing on our emotions. We might be having a lot of emotions about the journey ahead, about our hopes and dreams, maybe, you know, some uncertainty, maybe some excitement, a mix of different emotions possibly. And so I think that's natural during the Aries season. There's a lot of change happening, a lot of growth, a lot of potential in the air as well. And so that can be daunting and overwhelming, but it can also be exciting and just very promising, right? It's always nice to think of all the possibilities um, that are feasible when we're just at the start of a journey. And I think that's a lot about what this third card or this Three of Wands is. It's about being at that precipice and getting ready to take that leap, getting our bearings. And so I'll read from the guidebook for a moment to get a bit more information about this Three of Wands, at least as far as the guidebook says. So let me find that. And so here we have it. I'll read it off screen for a sec. So Sun in Aries, second decan. Here the Sun is in Aries, a sign that is like its home. The sunny, courageous, and very willful nature of this card recalls many aspects of this astrological position. In the Three of Wands, we find vision. The project becomes clear. After the initial energy of the Ace and the choice of the two, we can now embark on the wild and unknown adventure that awaits us out there. We are still on the threshold, in that place that gives us a glimpse of the wonders that await, that we can encounter if we just have the courage to continue. Key words: discovery, exploration, vision, a project that is fulfilled. And so, at least for myself, as I go into and continue to progress through the second decan of Aries, I want to keep these ideas in mind, making sure that I'm staying vulnerable and open to possibilities, putting myself out there, you know, trying to shed shame or, you know, insecurity that comes from shame sometimes, and just finding that inner strength, the inner strength to, you know, put myself out there, the inner strength to move forward, that courage to pursue my dreams. And then, you know, kind of same ideas here with that card. I think it's important to remember, you know, to be cautious again with this card, just to remind us of a few key points with regards to the Tower. You know, let's not be overwhelmed, or let's not take on too much so that then we can't, you know, we're just falling apart. But taking those measured steps, I think, is good and important. So yeah, I think I will leave that there. I like that it's kind of short and to the point, this video. So if you have any thoughts about second decan for Aries, what you see in the cards, what this time of the season is for you, please share. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And until next time, I'll see you again. Thank you.